serve the citizens and the state. There is not the sharp line between those two situations. So if the servant is oriented too much into the direction of citizen, he can be corrupted somehow, or can miss the other role. And on the other side, there is a problem because the servant, there is no, then if the servant is too oriented into the state, there is no, how to say, he's not acting he's not serving the citizen on the other hand. So where is the right balance between, I know there is no one precise answer, but anyway, so how to act in these situations? Take legislation from the state and be very citizen-oriented, or?
I have to tell you that you have asked me a very difficult question, but I can promise you one thing. Once I'm a professor and you invite me, I will answer you that.
Okay. That's a clever answer. Okay. If anybody from the audience have a question for Anna, or you can also share your views or share your ideas or experiences from this field. I wanted to stress, I missed to stress at the beginning that Dr. Anna is our visiting professor, and also we are hosting 5 students from Slovak Republic, Poland, and from Croatia. So our Faculty of Business Studies is the member of Ciklusa initiative. So we are hosting students and professors last month, and so you can also share your views with us.
So I would like to ask the Polish question, but of course I will do it in English.
Yes,
because we are colleagues from the same institute, basically. So you know, because you said in the beginning of your speech about the historical background, right? That everything is connected with some previous or the past situation, for example, in Poland. And I would like to ask you about a very simple issue, and namely about the Homo Sovieticus issue. Because when I went to Slovenia, I discovered that there is a lot of connections in mentality between some Polish people and some
because of similar past times.
Right, namely the different type of real socialism, let's say, right? But very often my Slovenian colleagues, I don't know, in my dormitory or also your students, very often they are saying that there are such similarities. So I would like to ask you about if in your opinion it is a problem to implement that kind of civil ethics, right, in public administration. Because all people know that in both previous systems, right? So in Yugoslavia and in Polish People's Republic, very often this administration was, you know, like evil we should to stand with, right? That's very often the people were very afraid to go to the office because they know that there will be very bad habits in these offices. And I know that also a lot of good things in this both system, right? For example, I know that I heard that, for example, Polish diplomacy was very effective at that time. Today it's also very effective. So I would like to ask you if there it could be, for example, a problem to implement, you know, these mentality issues.
Well, I have to tell you that I was impressed and stopped thinking about mentality as the main factor that influences our lives once I talked with sociologists who tend to depart from explaining everything by mentality. I mean, there is something in what you're saying, that the past influences our behaviors, etc., etc. But in terms of ethical conduct in the public sector, I think there are 2 issues that kind of answers your question. First, it depends on the level of administration. I'm not very familiar with Slovenian situation, but I suppose it is more or less similar to what we experience in Poland. If you go on the central level, there is a high understanding of what modern public management means, and this willingness to implement the code of good administrative behavior, the right to good administration. I mean, it is really worked out. It is really thought over. You can discuss the means through which they are implemented, but I wouldn't see that deep or significant differences between Poland, Slovenia, France, Spain, whichever country, or the United States. But if you would go on a local level already, the lower you go, the more obstacles you meet. But this is a generational issue, right? And kind of subsidiarity that hasn't reached the lowest level yet. And the other thing is also, I think, the generational issue, which mentality does not really influence our perception of effective functioning of the public sector. I mean, I'm sure your generation, or I don't know, the generation of teenagers right now, do not have the memory of Homo Sovieticus, and really, I mean, they may have different experiences of the global world, but they really don't think in terms of what has burdened us in terms of access to public services, etc. This is my opinion.
I think instead of saying the mentality, we should maybe say habit.
Yes.
And we can change our bad habits from the past, and also maybe our families or parents are responsible for the good habits of our children or for the young generations, and maybe this is somehow the problem itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, maybe to add on what Bartosz and you have just been discussing. Basically, talking about the past attitude in relationship between the administration and the citizen, and keeping in mind that it's really once a certain attitude and behavior becomes ingrained within the personality of the individual, it's very hard to get rid of this. It becomes a self, a part of human values. And once, by prescribing ethical standards, by changing ethical standards, prescribing a new approach towards dealing with human relationships is not necessarily enough. You see what I mean? Basically, you need examples to come. Day by day you would have cases of poor behavior according to EU standards. Because it's logical, people don't change their behavior overnight. This means by stressing this, I wouldn't be so optimistic about this Homo Sovieticus gene. Rather, quite the opposite. I would say it is within your nation. It stays within your nation because, according to what I can tell from the Slovenian case, I'm observing pretty much the same. And moreover, new generations. You mentioned new generations, and they're supposed to lose this connection. And in the past, yes, they don't have the historical memory of the then existing affairs. It's logical because they were not born at that time, and they were not raised at that time. But on the other hand, they were kind of they are kind of very lacking. Talking about the Slovenian case now, lacking a respect towards following the rules, which means the disrespect for the rules has increased on the other hand. While at the same time, at least with the part of the administration that hasn't changed, I mean the people that haven't retired yet from the previous regime, they are not capable, if you ask me, to change their behavior overnight.
Mm-hmm. True. I mean, the change always takes time.
Yes.
And it's not done by the click, right? You cannot expect that.
About disrespect of the rules, perhaps.
Yes.
I think in any case, the beginning inside us. So not just from the outside world, but from us out. And I think this is the most important thing. And no standard itself will change overnight our behavior, but we should start at the beginning. So this is somehow an important task for everybody from the world.
I'm very much in favor of those codes of ethics. They remind me of this Hippocrates oath or something, which is called, they have it from the medicine. Yeah, so this can kind of bring the desired behavior along the assembly.
Is there any other question? Yes, please.
Yes, hello. As you see now, I'm on maternity leave, but otherwise I'm a public servant. I work in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and I must admit that I never heard of an ethnic codex in public administration, unfortunately. And I think that would be very important if it exists in Slovenia as a
yes, it exists.
On the government level,
yeah.
it exists.
So it's on paper.
Just on paper.
So I wanted to, I mean, there were some ideas how to raise awareness already, but I would invite everyone to think about other possibilities, how to spread awareness of this ethical codex, which is the start, probably also in Slovenia. And actually this is, I mean, I just wanted to comment that from the practical point of view that it's not known, and it's more not a question for Anna, because
yes.
You're not so much aware about the Slovenian context, like probably for Mr. Andoljška, to think about, I mean, I think it's a very good idea that you invited Dr. Jaron, and probably think about next steps, how to spread awareness, also probably with an interview with Dr. Jaron in a paper, well-read paper, Slovenian paper. I mean, I think that could be another step,
idea, yes.
if she would agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will consider this.
I wanted to tell you that in Poland we had a similar problem, because the code of ethics that we are operating, within which we operate right now, is from 2011. But it is not the first code of ethics that we have implemented. We have had one from 2002. And this regulation did not contain the obligation to widespread the code of ethics. This is why I keep on telling that the trainings and the dissemination of the idea is very important. The 2011 regulation puts an obligation on directors general to make the ethical code known to their subordinates. And this is why it gets this kind of impetus to discuss about what the ethical behavior of public servant is.
Unfortunately, I wanted to ask you how you can see the difference between Slovenia and Poland, because I know you are in Slovenia quite often, but I don't want to ask you this because I think at the end of the day you are not so familiar with Slovenian situation, but I should stress maybe in Slovenia the main problem is that legislation is the maximum standard, and it should be the minimum standard, and the ethical standard should be above this. And this may be the problem, because especially in the institutions I work for, so everything is according to the law, but it is not according to the common sense or to the spirit of the law, and also it's not ethical. In a lot of cases, this is the truth. So yes, I'm very pleased to get the comment and also the appeal from your side. So, any other question? If not, I would like to finish with this evening, not with the formal part of the evening. You are invited to drink a glass or two of water, of course, outside, and have a debate or have a discussion with anybody from here or with Anna. And once more, Anna, thank you for your very good and full of knowledge you provide here for us. Thank you.
Thank you.
And of course, also to you, our audience from the the Embassy of Poland and all other students and so on. Thank you.